Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I am the Mouseketeer known as Stevie, and beside me is my co-host, the all-knowing crown jewel of Disney fandom, Cameron. We are just two dads raised on the mouse, here to give you tips, tricks, news, and overall entertainment for all things Disney. So turn us up in your pumpkin carriage, or maybe you're watching us on a magic mirror. But either way, we invite you to be our guest for an episode of Dadventures Around the Kingdom. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are back for another episode of Dadventures Around the Kingdom. Now, this week is going to be a fun episode because we are bringing back the fan interaction. Cam, do you want to tell them about that?
We are. So this week we are doing, we did this one of our first episodes too, where we did a ranking, but we are ranking this week the Disney Renaissance movies. So what is the Disney Renaissance movies? So the Disney Renaissance is the time period of Disney feature animated films that goes from 1989, starting with The Little Mermaid, all the way to 1999, ending with Tarzan. So it's a 10-year span of Disney movie history that people, the company and fans refer to as the Disney Renaissance, is when Disney movies really made a comeback that were both critically and monetarily well done, well received.
I guess
they made a lot of money in the box office, and they were critical darlings, basically. Are there some duds in here? Yeah, we'll talk about that. But for the most part, straight up bangers. And this could be, Stevie, I'm very excited about this. So we had some fan interaction. So we had our 2 votes, and we had 30 people actually submit quizzes to this or responses to this. I'm super excited to get into this. I definitely am interested to see like how people voted for this, because I think it's an age thing for the most part. Like, I was born in 95. You'll see who my favorite movie is. I don't think it's any shocker, but I'm very interested to see if like people that are older than us, how they reacted, because they were hitting these movies while they were like older kind of thing. Like for me, 1989, I was in 40, right? So like when Little Mermaid came out in 1989, I wasn't around for that, but it's a movie that grew up with my childhood because it was already available on VHS. So it was easy for my parents to plop in I almost said the microwave, that would not be correct, into the TV, into the VHS, and throw that on there for it. So we got, like I said, 30 responses. The way we do this is there are 3 components to this. So no offense to all our listeners, but me and Stevie each get a third of the vote. Okay. So Stevie made his top 10 list. I made my top 10 list. Whichever one we voted as number 1 got 10 points. Whichever one we voted 2 got 9, all the way down to our least favorite movie got 1 point. And I should mention that it's not ranking best or worst. It's our favorites. Yep. The fans voted. And then thank you. Big, huge shout out. Dadventures Around the Kingdom. Shout out to Lisa Ramos, my wife, who helped me tabulate all the answers, because there was 30 responses. So it was a big undertaking. But we took all of the fan votes, ranked them 10 through 1 based off the same voting system. And whoever the fans voted as number 1 got 10 points as well. So the max number of points a movie could potentially get, and spoiler alert, the top movie did get this amount of points, was 30 points. If they got 10 points from me, 10 points from Stevie, and 10 points from the fans, going all the way down to number 1. So the way that we'll do this is we'll go from 10 to 1. I have some responses from people of why they picked some of the movies to be the worst. I have them for why they picked to be the best. So we're going to give shout outs to our listeners who participated in the survey. Again, thank you to everyone that did participate. 30 responses, pretty good for a little podcast that this was out for like less than a week, the quiz. So thanks for everybody for participating in that. Stevie, does this all make sense to you? Am I missing anything in the explanation?
No, it all makes sense. This is perfect. Before we kick things off, I know, like, looking at these movies, I didn't realize until now that I'm like, there are some movies that were in that time frame that weren't on this list. I'm not sure if they just don't categorize as part of the Renaissance, or like, I guess, would you happen to know what would categorize?
The Goofy movie is not in this because it's not a Disney. I knew where you're going with this, because it was done by Disney Toon Studios. Okay, this is Disney animation proper. So Disney has tons and tons and tons of animation studios. I believe Goofy movie was Disney Toon Studios. It's still a Disney movie. Don't get me wrong, but as far as full-length feature animated, what they consider like the cream of the crop of what Disney movie is, kind of thing. This is the 10 movie. So that's why the Goofy movie's not in there. That's why you're not going to see Toy Story either, because that's a Pixar movie. So this is straight up from the studio, Disney Animation Studio, which is like the head honcho of their animation studios for Disney. So that's why you're not going to see the Goofy movie. You're not going to see Bugs Life. Obviously not Cars. Cars was 2004 or 5, whatever it was.
Yeah.
But that's why you're not going to see any other movies here from 1989 to 1999. Speaking of which, I should go through what the Disney Renaissance movies are. So starting off in 1989 with Little Mermaid, we go to The Rescuers Down Under, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, Lion King, Pocahontas, Hunchback of Notre Dame, Hercules, Mulan, and it ends with Tarzan in 1999. And that is what's considered the Disney Renaissance time period here. This would actually kind of fun to do with a lot of the time periods, and maybe we'll do that in season 2 of the podcast. But for now, we got the Disney Renaissance, which for me is, I don't know what the timeline would be called once you start with like Princess of the Frog and Tangled, and you go into Frozen, whatever that timeline is. Clutch, great timeline.
Yeah, I mean, it's all written somewhere. There's all written somewhere because we will definitely go through the other eras because I know there is. I forget what they actually call it, but we all know, Disney fans know that there's that like forgotten era of movies that were just kind of like
Black Cauldron. Like, sorry to anybody that likes the Black Cauldron.
Well, no, I'm thinking of movies like Meet the Robinsons.
Good
that
film.
Kind of just like good film, but it like that was one of those movies that they kind of like pushed under the rug. They were like
the worst Disney movie of all time, Home on the Range. Again, we'll get to that. But now we're going to focus on Disney Renaissance. So here's what we're going to do. Starting off in the rankings at number 10. Okay. This was my least favorite movie out of the group. This was Stevie's least favorite movie out of the group. And it was tied for the worst for the fans. Now, the reason I gave this 1 point as opposed to 2 is because whatever movie tied for the worst based off the vote for fans, they had more votes in higher categories. Like somebody voted this next movie as a number 2 movie of all time. Okay. So I gave the edge to that one as being the second worst, quote unquote.
Okay.
But finishing at the bottom barrel, 3 points total, 1 point from Stevie, 1 point from me, 1 point from the fans, is The Rescuers Down Under.
Yes.
Very forgettable movie. It is a movie I absolutely watched 1000%. But when you're going up against these heavy hitters, somebody has to be last, right? And for me, it's The Rescuers Down Under. I don't think I ever watched this movie as a kid. The only time I like specifically remember watching this movie was like in 2015. I decided like 3 weeks before Disney, I was going to watch every Disney animated movie like from this like Disney feature thing. That was back in the days when like Redbox and Netflix DVDs was still a thing. So I was getting a DVD. I was shipping it back to get like these obscure movies like Rescuers Down Under that I didn't have availability to get. But yeah, this finished dead last. This had 10 people out of 30 ranked this as their least favorite Disney film. 12 people put it at 9th. Oh no, hold on. I'm sorry. Wait, that's not correct. I have those numbers here. 10 people had it as the 10th worst, 10th best, I guess. 6 people at 9th, 4 people at 8th. So it had a big reasoning for it to be at the bottom tier of the movies.
I mean,
but yeah, your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I haven't watched nor thought about this movie in probably 30 years. That's why, like, for myself, like, I put it dead last. I was just kind of like, it's been so long that I can't even remember the plot of the movie. I don't really remember the characters, to be completely honest. Like, I remember the mice, but like, there's a lot about it. Actually, I think the only character that I do remember is the seagull. I think it was, because the seagull was kind of funny. But I was like, I had like all the movies that we have on this list. I had everyone VHS. I'm pretty sure my mom still has them back at our, childhood house in Cambridge. But we had all these movies. But this was definitely one that I was like, I feel like you would have to dust it off on Disney Plus. Like, it would be at the bottom, one of those things you type into the search engine on Disney Plus, and Disney would be like, "Are you sure? You really want to watch this?" Yeah.
Yeah, I barely remember. Like, I just looked up the characters' names to remember. Like, it's coming back to me a little bit that it was like Bernard was the boy mouse, Miss Bianca was the female mouse. Orville, I did remember that is the seagull. But the fans, the listeners, basically said the same thing too. So when asked like why do they put a certain movie as their least favorite. Like I said, 10 people put this as their least favorite. A lot of people, we got Kevin C. I've never seen it. Olivia F., not a movie I grew up watching. Dennis B., I think I watched it once and it was fine. Courtney B., I feel like I haven't seen The Rescuers Down Under enough to appreciate it. I must. Katie J., we know who that is. I remember the title, but can't even remember the movie. Susan K., I've never heard of this movie. Taylor H., I either have not seen it or do not remember it. Tyler S., never saw it. Danica D., I've never seen it. Barbara A., because I don't even remember it. So this was a very forgettable movie in the Renaissance period. And again, when you're talking about bangers like Lion King, Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, something has to be last, and it's The Rescuers Down Under.
When did this movie release?
Oh God, this would have been 1990. So this would have been the second movie in the Disney Renaissance.
Okay, so this was because I was
after
born in
Little Mermaid.
Yeah, I was born in 91, so this was like right before. So it was like I know I watched this. I probably watched it when I was like 6 or 7, but like I like I said, I've seen it. So like when I saw like I had to Google it, and I was like when I saw like the cover, I was like, oh, okay, I do kind of remember this. But I was like, yeah, I have no idea what the plot of the story was, all of that.
It's funny because this is one of very few Disney animated full-length feature films that got a sequel. Because like if you think of like Aladdin,
it got a sequel.
This was the sequel. What? So there was The Rescuers, and this is The Rescuers Down Under. So this was the sequel. Because there are movies that have sequels. Like I'm thinking like Aladdin, the King of Thieves. That was like a direct to VHS. That was never part of Disney like a full-length animated feature. So like other movies, yes, they got sequels. Like I remember they made like a Cinderella 3 when I was a kid. That's not counting as this. This was like one of those other studios made it, but this is one of the very few Disney animated films that has a sequel to it. The other ones I can think of is like Ralph Breaks the Internet, Frozen 2, obviously. Not many of the animated feature films have a sequel, and this was the sequel to The Rescuers.
I mean, it's also one of those things, if you really think about it, like especially in the 90s, animated movies in general tended to have a straight to VHS sequel. Like you rarely had like, oh, this is like gonna be in theaters. Like when you like if you really think about it, in your early childhood, how many animated movies really had an in theater sequel until you got to things like Toy Story and stuff like that? But it was
not much.
They really were like sequels. It'd be like, oh, there's a Tarzan 2, or better yet, we're gonna have like a little like Tarzan animated show, or something.
And don't get me wrong, a lot of these movies have a sequel. Like Little Mermaid has a sequel, but it wasn't made by the main studio because they're like, no, this is gonna be a little cash grab at the side. And Little Mermaid 2 is actually a banker. Lion King, I think, has 3 movies. Actually, Lion King has Lion King. Lion King has Lion King, Lion King 2, Lion King 3, and one of my favorite movies of all time, Lion King 1.5, which is Lion King 1 told by Timon and Pumbaa. Chef's Kiss, beautiful movie. But anyway, let's keep going here. So that was number 10. Number 8 on this list.
Wait, 9.
Number 9, excuse me, I apologize. Number 9 is The Hunchback of Notre Dame. So I had this at number, how many, let's see. I'm going to do this a little differently because I wrote this wrong. I gave this 3 points, The Hunchback of Notre Dame. So it was my 8th best movie. You and the fans had this at 9th. So it got 2 points for you, 2 points from the fans, 3 points for me because I had it a little bit higher. So a total of 7 points. So it's The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Like I said, the fans technically had Hunchback of Notre Dame tied with Rescuers Down Under, but more people had it ranked higher. So I gave it the 2 points instead of the 1 and gave it the edge over Rescuers Down Under. Hunchback of Notre Dame, Stevie.
I think it's, for me, The Hunchback of Notre Dame is, I think, like, I just remember the first time I watched it, it's just kind of an unsettling movie. So it really wasn't something as a kid that I was like, oh yeah, I want to go back and watch this. And I feel like a lot of people feel the same, which is probably why you don't get a lot of re-showings of Hunchback of Notre Dame on like Freeform or Disney Channel. Like it's not getting played over, but they'll play The Lion King, they'll play Aladdin, they'll play, obviously, like you said, the bangers. But this one, it was like you watch it the first time. I just remember as a kid, there's that scene where he gets like tied up in the town square and they're like
Yeah.
throwing like fruit and stuff at him. And it's like, that was just hard to watch.
Yeah, as a kid, it's a pretty dark little movie there.
Yeah. And I was like, this is the Renaissance, but we really went into like the dark ages of the Renaissance for this movie. And you gave us, this troubled, the Hunchback of Notre Dame. I forget his name.
Quasimodo, baby.
Quasimodo, that's what it was. Even the toys, the toys were fugly.
I think I had a Quasimodo toy, and that's a creepy toy to give to a kid, pretty honestly.
I think they might have had like Burger King at the time. Like I think they were Burger King toys. The gargoyles, hilarious.
Very funny. Good.
I remember the
piece.
gargoyles. And sorry, Katie, because I know you're listening. Esmeralda, fine. Underline capital F.
Jessica Rabbit style.
Yeah, Roger Rabbit, jaw on floor. That was for me at like 5 years old. I was
Jesus.
like, good God. But yeah, not really a lot of rewatch for me.
This movie kind of stinks. I did have it ranked higher than you and the fans, though, simply because I did watch it when I was older. Again, I did this rewatch of every single movie up till 2015.
Yep.
Spoiler, I liked it better than Pocahontas. I think what I really like is the songs stink, in my opinion, but there's one song that's a straight up banger. It's out there. It has like the I forget the villain guy, but him and Quasimodo have this little back and forth, and I just think the melody,
it was like the
lyrics are really good.
or something.
Yeah, like that was a banger of a song. Everything else about this movie is trash, but I think I put it over Pocahontas because it was a little darker and Pocahontas is actually pretty dark too when you think about it. I don't know. Yeah. I just kind of like, when you put a gun to my head, I just said I like this better than Pocahontas, which is probably the wrong answer. Now that I'm like really sitting here and thinking about it, I was just going like full vibes right when I was doing this, but I'll stick with it. It's the 9th movie here. 4 people did rank this as last. We have Marcy A say the only one I've never watched. Marina L says I don't know the last time I ever saw this movie. Lauren M said I think I've seen The Hunchback once and it was terrifying. Jason B said Hunchback is forgettable. The music is the worst of them all, even though Rescuers Down Under doesn't have music. Jason. That's a fire point. I like that. Like I said, I did like that one song out there. The rest of the music is terrible.
Yeah,
but saying this music is worse than the Rescuers Down Under that doesn't have any music is straight up very funny. I like that answer a lot. Let me see. Did anybody have this number 1?
I'd be surprised.
No, the highest it's got is somebody did have it as their number 2 favorite.
They must have been a Catholic school kid because there's I don't know how you
have that number 2, but
that's
all
number
right.
2.
Let's move. So that was 9. Let's move to number 8. So number 8 on the list is Pocahontas. So this was 8th for you, Stevie. It was 8th for the fans. It was 9th for me. Overall, got 8 points, just outbeat Hunchback, which had 7 points. But Pocahontas, thoughts, Stevie?
So this is a movie I've watched a couple of times. I remember I had, again, I want to say in the 90s, Burger King was killing it with the animated toys.
It had to have been, gun to my head, it was McDonald's though. I think Disney was
this one McDonald's?
Yeah, McDonald's was always when I was a kid, so I had to guess it was McDonald's back then. But continue.
Because I thought, I'm pretty sure I had the Pocahontas cup, and I can't remember if that was Burger King or McDonald's.
Let me do this real quick. Let's fact check.
Yeah, I thought it was Burger King because I remember, like, especially in the 90s, McDonald's was doing a lot of the, like, they were pushing like their characters. Like Ronald McDonald was still big, the Hamburglar, all of that type of stuff. So I thought it was Burger King.
That would be McDonald's.
It was a Happy Meal?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I thought it was Burger King. But either way, I remember I had the toy of the little dog, like the boss's dog.
Yeah.
That was like very funny. And I had the raccoon, Pocahontas' raccoon as well. Excuse
me.
Yep.
Put some respect on Miko's name. Thank you.
Miko. I actually one of the first video games I ever had was Pocahontas.
That's hilarious.
I had I think they called it a Pico. So it was like this laptop thing. You plug it into the TV and you could turn the pages and like you could like tap on different things on your like little like laptop thing that was connected to the computer. But that was my video game. And I remember like there was a game with Miko and the hummingbird, and it was super fun. But I remember playing that. But this was a movie. Yeah, I've seen this movie a couple of times, and I liked it. Definitely more than the other two. But this is one where again, it's funny. Rescuers doesn't have any music. The music in
Careful.
The music in Hunchback is trash.
Yeah.
But Pocahontas,
okay, good. Okay. Oh boy.
Amazing. Yes. Pocahontas was I personally think all the music in this one was beautifully made. And I
Great
think
songs.
Yes, and I think this is one where they like, I forget like where it is in the order of like when they came out, but I feel like this was when they were like, we're really hitting our stride with these Renaissance movies now, where like the music is really kicking.
This would have been 90. Hold on. Pocahontas 95. My birthday.
95.
I should actually know that my birthday. So it came right after Lion King, before Hunchback.
So right after Lion King. So that means we had you had Little Mermaid, you had Lion King, like they were
Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin were all before. And Rescuers.
They hit their stride. They were like, oh yeah, the music, we got it down. Colors of the Wind is iconic.
Beautiful. Yeah, it's a classic Disney song. Like when you think Disney songs, like that is one that should come to your head. No matter what, no question asked.
And so that was like the music for this one alone, because obviously the story itself, there's a reason why I don't think Pocahontas will ever get a live action. At least not by Disney. But this was definitely a good movie, and I think it's right that it made it past the other two.
Yeah, I think I got this wrong. I think this is probably should have been right above Hunchback. Now that I'm thinking about it, the music is. It doesn't change the score. It's still, even if I put Pocahontas at number 8 instead of 9, it still is going to stay at 8 for everybody. Yeah, everybody would have had at 8, so it would have been straight chalk. Yeah, I probably got this one wrong, so I'm happy that the fans and you got this right, putting Pocahontas where it was. We did have a couple people, let me see here, for worst. We had 4 people put this as the worst. So we had Kathy L. put Pocahontas had its moments, but it's not memorable to me. Kaylana S. Said it's not a movie I often choose to watch on my own. Josh S. said the storyline was too slow for me. Melissa C. said because the real story of Pocahontas is completely different. That's a valid point. This is just a movie. I don't care about the story, honestly, that much. The songs are great. That's probably why I should have put this up ahead. Probably the worst Disney princess movie in my opinion. But we did have 2 people who put this as their number 1. So we had Katie W. said I was obsessed with Pocahontas when I was little. I had the soundtrack on CD and would make my parents listen to it every day. And then Susan K said, I love a good romance and the music slaps, and I want a pet raccoon. Very fair point. Miko, great sidekick. We're not going to get into the sidekick conversation. But this was the first movie in our rankings list that from the worst that did have at least one person, in this case 2 people, say it was their favorite. So that helped it with its fan rankings a little bit too. But 4 people ultimately said it was the worst. So there we are. Should we move on to the next one? Oh, sorry.
I also want to say that if I'm correct, I think Pocahontas was the first Disney princess that wouldn't get a sunburn.
Jesus.
Like this was like I think this is the first Disney princess that they gave that like had some color, like ethnic wise. And so obviously that alone, that's a big step for Disney, because everybody, I
know where you're going with that, Stevie. I know where you're going with that. I said, Jesus, like, what are we doing? Okay.
Yeah. Snow White was pale.
Yeah.
pale, 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 pale. And then same thing with Cinderella and Little Mermaid, and they were like, you know what? Let's cater to some of like our other fans. Let's be a little bit more worldly. So yeah, this was a great movie.
I did like the show at Camp Mickey Minnie in Animal Kingdom. There was a cool show.
Mm.
They actually had a live raccoon, which kind of freaked me out. But yeah, I forget what it was called, but it was at Camp Mickey Minnie. Also, if people are watching the YouTube of this and you see my knees up, we're moving houses. I'm sitting in an office with no chair, no desk. I'm doing this on the floor. So if you see my stupid little knees pop up with the camera, I'm just trying to get the blood flow in these legs here. All right, moving on. Next on our list, I have this here somewhere. God help. All right, that was 8. So number 7 on the list. And this, folks, is where it's going to get tough. The rest of these movies are certified bangers. Somebody has to be 7. Number 7 on this list, Tarzan. Okay. Got ranked 7th for me, 7th by you, Stevie, excuse me. It did get up as high as earning 6 points from the fans, but ultimately finishes off with 14 points total here. So 4 points from me, 4 points from you, 6 points from the fans. But Tarzan finishing 7th on our list. I'll start off with this one. Tarzan has arguably the best Disney soundtrack of all time. I will put it up. The rest of these have beautiful soundtracks too. The rest of these lists, I think this is the best soundtrack on this list. But storytelling wise, I just like the other movies better than it. And it isn't a movie I've watched in a while, so I'll admittedly say that I've probably watched all these other movies at least way more times than Tarzan in the last however many years. It's a movie I really liked as a kid. Another shout out to Disney World had a show on Animal Kingdom called Tarzan Rocks, where they were on roller skates, which was crazy stupid. If you ever find a YouTube video of that, it's one of like the memories burned from my first ever trip to Disney World in 2000, like burned in my head is them doing Tarzan Rocks.
Yeah, we brought this up on a previous episode.
Yeah, you watched that on YouTube.
Because we were talking about Tarzan Chippendales.
Yes, but it's a freaking banger of a movie. But again, I'm gonna sound like Brooklyn American. Someone has to be 7th.
Yep.
Unfortunately, it's the guy with the loincloth.
Yeah, I think.
Jane. I love Jane. Jane, good character. Also, Turk, great character. Lisa does. My wife Lisa does an awesome impersonation of the elephant, where she goes, "Mom, is this water sanitary?" I forget the elephant's name, but very, very funny. So, but sorry, continue.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, this movie. So I put this as 7 because I was like, for the story itself, I'd give it like a 5, but album out of 10 is like a 12.
Phil Collins didn't have to do this, and he did. So God bless you, sir.
Phil Collins hasn't made his own album as good as this soundtrack. Like, this was the best thing that he has ever made. Unbelievable, top to bottom.
It's another movie, sorry, that has like a song kind of like when you think Disney like songs, Color of the Wind should come to your head.
Yes.
You'll Be in My Heart, same category, should automatically be
100%.
Just rattling them off like a Sporkle quiz. That should be one that comes to your head. It's beautiful. Oh my God, especially now having kids.
Yeah.
It breaks my heart even more.
I would say, like, again, I mean, we've talked about this before. You can't come up with a top 10 list of favorite Disney songs and not have something from the Tarzan movie.
Yeah.
And now that I think about it, I don't think Jazz has seen Tarzan yet. I know it's been on TV like once or twice, but I haven't showed it to her yet. But I know, because I know, like, for me, my favorite character was Turk, the younger gorilla. But yeah, I had the toys of this movie.
Same.
I remember when it came out. This was also because, again, another big turning point. Like, I want to say during this time, Disney was taking some risks with their animation, with their storytelling. This was one where this was the first time that you kind of like openly saw the bad guy die. When Clayton from the vines, this was like the first time, because normally it was like, oh, the evil queen got pushed off the cliff, or like something happens kind of in the background. Ursula gets the trident, right into her stomach and kind of just fades away, and whatever. But this was the first time like that scene where Tarzan's still trying to like save Clayton, even though like he is just like full on rage, trying to like chop down, machete these vines. And then you just see that like lightning bolt, and you just see in the background hanging there. And it was like, that is arguably one of the darkest moments in Disney movies. And so to put this in like a children's film, very, very risky, but I feel like this was a risk that paid off because this movie was really good. I do have a question for you because I've seen some people go back and forth on this. I don't think this is right, but would you consider Jane a Disney princess?
No, absolutely not. Get out of here with that.
Agreed.
I love Jane. That's crazy.
I don't think so because Tarzan isn't a prince.
No.
He's not like
no.
Even though he has the respect of the apes, but I don't think he was ever like seen as like king of the apes after everything went along.
Even he was like, we don't consider Nala to be a Disney princess, you know what I mean, or like anything like that. Same like like Simba's a prince, but like it's there's levels to this. I will shout out to one of the best dads. I don't know how to pronounce his first name, but Professor Porter, Jane's dad. Little silly man. I like him, and Clayton remind me of LeFou and Gaston a little bit, but LeFou was
I never even thought about that.
Yeah, you got the big guy, but Professor Porter much more lovable than LeFou. Going to the fans, we have one person did put this as their worst. So Curtis C said, "I've never watched the whole movie, and Rosie O'Donnell gets on my nerves." I don't disagree with that, but Rosie O'Donnell slaps in this movie. Does really good as Turk. We did have 3 people put it as their favorite. Gavin didn't put reason why, but Gavin put it as his favorite. Taylor H said Phil Collins for the win. Absolutely. Colin J put classic, awesome soundtrack, great vibes movie. Couldn't have said it better than myself. Like I said, I respect those people putting it as number 1. I had it at 7. But I get why people love this movie. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, the person that says that they have never watched this movie from beginning to end,
gotta fix that.
Pause and go watch it right now. How dare you? How dare you not listen to every word that comes out of Phil Collins's mouth? You don't know how your heart rate goes up when that jaguar is chasing
spoilers
after
Stevie.
Tarzan.
Spoilers. I'm just kidding.
Oh no! Because like this movie is like this is definitely one of those movies that I would put on my like top 10 of, if you're only going to ever watch 10 Disney movies in your lifetime, this is on that list. No question about it.
Interesting.
So yeah.
All right. Shall we keep moving on?
Yep. Let's keep pushing.
All right. So that was what, 7? So coming in at number 6, we have Mulan. This was ranked 6th by me, 5th by you, 6th by the fan. So it got 16 total points. 5 points for me, 5 points for the fan. Excuse me. And 6 from me, 6 from the fans, 5 points from you. But we have Mulan. I freaking love Mulan. Okay, again, it's a great circumstance movie. Of you had to rank the list. I had to take this into consideration. Again, banger songs. One of my favorite Disney princesses is Mulan. But the other movies on this list just are better for me, kind of thing. On a different day, I could see this being in maybe even my top 30, but at the time of writing this list and right now, I'm sticking with it 6th. To Be a Man, one of the greatest Disney songs of all time. It has some really good action scenes in here. I just love the story. I think like me being like a girl dad now too, like I just love what Mulan does for her dad. And I'm like, oh, like maybe Kylie would do that for me. I hope she does it because I want to take her place and stuff. But like, I don't know, just really sweet. Kylie's afraid of this movie, so I'm hoping when she's older,
really,
like, yeah, she did not like the scene where Mulan, it's like thunder and lightning, and Mulan like cuts her hair and like runs off to join the army. She did not like that little part, so we just stopped right there. So she got through the part where Mulan is like all dressed up and like has the makeup and it's whatever. Shout out Cricket, another fantastic Disney sidekick. Mushu, top 3 Disney sidekick of all time, probably. Even though I think I had him 4th technically, whatever. Mulan is freaking incredible.
Yes. I love Mulan. I know Katie's favorite song is "I'll Make a Man Out of You."
Mhm.
I will
It's on the
say
gym playlist for sure.
my favorite song from this movie is "Girl Worth Fighting For." I find
Very
it
funny. Very funny
hilarious.
song.
So like, yeah, that is like probably one of my favorite. This is a movie that I remember when it came out. Um, Mushu was everything to me.
Yeah.
Back when Disney Channel used to like actually do like music videos for like the hit songs, like they had this was like young, I want to say like teenage Christina Aguilera with Reflections,
Mhm.
but my jam was Stevie Wonder and 98 Degrees, True to Your Heart.
Mm.
Banger.
That plays when you
Absolute
leave
banger.
Fantasmic, that version plays, which is cool.
Oh, I love
I'm pretty
that
sure.
song. And so
Reflections
whenever,
also a banger. Good ballad.
yeah,
I don't know if
like
that's
when
called a ballad, but nice slow song.
whenever True to Your Heart would play, I was like, oh, this is my jam. Head bobbing, everything. I think I've played that for Jazz like once, and even she was like bobbing her head.
Yeah.
But yeah, everything about this movie, the story from beginning to end is very well made. The like you said, the act of wanting to save her, like protect her father, but then also kind of like this like redemption. I think that's most what I love about this. It's like it's really a redemption story, because Mulan kind of starts off as this like, she's the daughter that the whole village feels like can't do anything right, because she's really not this girly girl. She's really a fighter. She's essentially a tomboy in like old school traditional China.
Mhm.
And I think it just works out better. I could quote this movie all day long, just strictly quoting
Mushu, probably. I'm assuming.
Mushu.
Yeah, of course.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Shout out Eddie Murphy.
Dishonor on you, dishonor on your cow, dishonor on your whole family. I absolutely
Arguably,
love him.
Eddie Murphy might be the greatest sidekick character of all time between Mushu and Donkey.
True.
Like in animated sense, like just bangers of characters because Donkey's essentially Mushu. Like it just in
Oh
dream.
yeah.
Like they're basically the same character, but like Donkey's stupider, basically. But like
Yeah.
his voice doesn't even change for it. It's just straight up Eddie Murphy's voice in a donkey.
Yeah.
Like Mushu is just Eddie Murphy's voice, and he didn't do anything silly for it. But for the fans, we had one person put it as the worst movie. This was Colin J. My ex favorite movie, which I love. Colin, I freaking love you, buddy. You're my guy. I love you so much. I don't know how your ex favorite movie goes all the way down to 10, and you put the Rescuers down under a 3. Regardless, you do, buddy. I love you so much.
What?
He said watch it way too much. Yeah, Colin, I texted him this morning at 6 a.m. I was like, why is the Rescuers number 3? And I forget what he responded. My phone's across the room, but yeah, he put this as whatever. I love this guy. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. 2 people put it as their favorite. One of them being the wonderful Katie J. Said because hold on, he makes this longer. It's always been my favorite princess movie. I love the music, the characters, and the story. And Josh has said, I've been obsessed with dragons my whole life, and I love Mushu. So great reasons why I'd have this as number 2. And a lot of people put it as like 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th. So that's where it falls in between that middle ranking here for everybody.
Yeah, beautiful movie. Not enough can be said. It's such an awesome movie. Absolutely hilarious. And didn't they come out? This is another one. I think they had a 2, didn't they? Did they have a Mulan 2?
I think that's correct. They also had the live action, which I still have not seen yet. That came out during COVID, but
I have no interest in watching the live action because they took Mushu out.
Yeah.
Mushu is not in it. And from what I've heard, none of the songs are in it.
Yeah, it's a completely different retelling, which I respect. Like that, I'm fine with these movies doing different stuff, but
Like
I just have no interest in it personally. I'd
what
rather
I've
watch it animated.
From what I heard, they pretty much were like, we're gonna give you the original Mulan story, but we're gonna put like a PBS Nat Geo spin on it.
Mhm.
And it, from what I remember, it bombed. People were
to be fair, this was a tough movie time because this was COVID. Like, it got delayed. It became just like a Disney Plus movie. It was a bad timing in the world for this movie to come out, unfortunately.
Yeah, but you can't have a Disney movie and take all the pure Disneyness out of it, the
Sure.
music and the characters. But yeah.
All right, next up on this list, this is number 5. So we're in the top 5 right now. It is The
Okay.
Little Mermaid. I had this at 5th. You had this at 6th. The fans had it at 4th. So it got 6 points from me, 5 points from you, and 7 points from the fan, giving it a total of 18 points to come in number 5th, or number 5, excuse me. It is The Little Mermaid, the movie that starts off this Disney Renaissance. I love The Little Mermaid. I've talked about this plenty of times on the show. Obviously, like, this movie has such a special place in my heart because it was my sister's favorite movie. So this is a movie, and that I get why Colin might have put Mulan lower because he watched it so many times. Putting Mulan as his least favorite because he watched it so many times is crazy. But that's probably impacted why this is probably lower for me. Granted, I do like the other movies. It's just because, like, when my sister was alive, when we were kids, when we'd get babysat, if we were putting up VHS on the TV, it was either The Wizard of Oz, Matilda, or The Little Mermaid. I never got a pick. So I think it's just watching it so many times. But I freaking love this movie. I love the characters. It hurts me to put it at 5th because I love so much of it. I got to meet Jodie Benson, who's the voice of Little Mermaid, at Comic-Con back in 2018, and I had her sign my Funko Pop, and I got to give her one of the hashtag Princess Marissa bracelets that we sell for a foundation kind of thing, and tell her about Marissa. So that was really cool, really special place in my heart. Has some of the best songs. Again, great soundtrack. One of my favorite Disney villains in Ursula. I love the representation of Little Mermaid at Disney World between the Voyage of Little Mermaid show. I think that's actually, I don't actually know what it's called now. The show at Hollywood Studios, whatever it's called now.
Yeah.
The new one was okay, was good. The ride, I love that you can go. It's 2 floors for under the sea and then on the land. Little Mermaid, just a freaking classic. Kicks off this Renaissance. It's a perfect space, I think, for it to be number 5 here.
Little Mermaid. Yeah, it's, as far as all these movies go, right in the middle of the pack. I did like this movie. I have to say, like, I watched it relatively recently, like within the past couple of months, and this is one of those movies I actually forgot, like, of quite a few things. Like, I completely forgot about the whole Ursula getting the trident situation. Like, I completely forgot about that.
She becomes human too at one point.
Yeah, like, well, I knew that happened. I forgot about the whole, like, B story with Sebastian and the cook. Completely forgot about that. But yeah, I love this movie.
Little Mermaid 2 with, I think the daughter's name is Melody. Fantastic freaking movie. Like, highly recommend if you have it. It's one of those, like, I don't, maybe it was in theaters, but it's not part of this Disney animation like lineup. It was done by one of the lesser studios, but another movie we watched all the time growing up. Actually, a banger of a movie where I think Ariel's the only princess with a kid. I want to say that's correct, like, canonically. I think her name's Melody. Great movie. Highly recommend people watch that if they haven't watched it.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't think any of the other Disney princesses have children. For a second, I thought maybe Cinderella or Belle, but I don't think so.
I would bet thousands of dollars Anna has one by the end of Frozen 4. Whenever that happens, I would bet so much money they're gonna.
Oh yeah, Anna and yeah, they gotta have one. Gotta have one.
I bet they will have one,
or at least one on the way. Like, yeah. One thing I will say. Oh no, I was gonna say one thing I will say about Little Mermaid. Did you see the live action one?
Most of it.
I think the music from the live action one is actually better than the original, but there's certain new characters that I absolutely hate in the live action that I wish they just kept it how it was in the original. Like the seagull. The seagull, and I think really what it is, I just hate the person that voices the seagull.
Aquafina.
Aquafina.
I
something.
don't even think it's Scuttle, but I don't even think Scuttle's a seagull in the new movie. I think it's like a different kind of bird.
Yeah, it's like a different kind of bird, but I don't know what it is. It's something about Aquafina's voice. I cannot stand it. It is
I actually
for
like her
me
voice.
the
I
it's
like her in
some
Shang-Chi a lot.
even in Shang, I just don't like her voice. Period. She's in Marvel Zombies, she's in Marvel What If. Yeah, her and Shang-Chi, like I just don't like her voice.
See, I
And
like her a lot. Like I loved her in Shang-Chi. I loved her in Raya and the Last Dragon. I love
yeah, that's
Khonshu. I
another
think she
one.
was so good in that. I like her voice a lot personally. It's very
I think
distinct. I think it's great.
yeah, it's like that new age kind of like Brooklyn accent. And I think whether it's just the tone of her voice with that Brooklyn accent, it just hits my ears wrong and I cannot do it. But well,
Um,
I'm ready for the next one.
Real quick for the fans, we had nobody put this as last. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me double check the stat real quick. No, this does not have the most people. This had the second most first place votes. We had 6 people put this at number 1. We had Barbara A said because it's obviously the GOAT. Marcy A said characters and the music. Marina L said my mom loved that movie and it's one of my favorites too. I love the songs and the storyline. Lauren M said The Little Mermaid is a classic movie with great music, a great storyline, and one of the best, most iconic villains. Jason B said The Little Mermaid has the best music of them all. I still sing along every time I'm on Ariel's Under the Sea Adventure. And Angela J said I watch it the most often. So that would be number 5. Little Mermaid. But moving on to the 4th best movie, according to us and you, the fans, we have Beauty. Oh, I'm sorry. No. I'm sorry. I apologize. It's Hercules. Excuse me. I apologize. So I had Hercules as my number 3 favorite movie. Stevie, you had it as your number 4. The fans had it down as number 7 on their list. Together, that culminates to 19 points, just edging out Little Mermaid with 18 points. But it's Hercules. Hercules is one of my favorite Disney movies of all time, which is why I put it at 3.
Yeah.
I'm happy with where it landed on this list at 4, given where it is. I was surprised by the fans' reaction. I think this is one of those movies that's like a generational kind of thing. That like
Yeah.
for me, this was like an absolute like pop in the VHS movie because it had just come out when I was like watching TV as a kid.
Mhm.
Yeah, I freaking love Hercules. We've talked about it. Hades, my favorite Disney villain probably of all time. Pain and Panic, awesome little minions there. The storyline's great. Some of the best music, whether it's Go the Distance or Won't Say I'm in Love. We've talked about the muses 50 million times on this. How much you love them, Stevie.
Yeah.
Freaking Hercules, absolute banger. I wish it was a little higher. I get why it's not when you look at number 3, 2, and 1 on this list, but Hercules coming in at number 4 here.
Yeah. I think where Hercules is on this list is absolutely perfect. Hercules, like you said, I'm also kind of surprised that the fans cumulatively ranked it so low. Because yes, this is definitely when did Hercules come out? Like what year?
97.
97. Okay, so I was about 6 at the time. Yeah. This was just a great movie. As like you said, I absolutely loved the muses, loved Meg. I loved the whole story. The actor that especially like young Hercules.
Mhm.
This was one of those movies. I'm pretty sure there wasn't a Hercules 2, but they made a show.
Yeah, they did make a show.
And what always confused me with when Disney would decide to make these shows as like spin-offs of the movie is they would kind of like revert things backwards and just create absolute plot holes. Obviously, kids aren't going to notice them. As an adult, I notice them now. Like
Yeah.
the Hercules show was of Hercules as a teenager, but somehow was friends with Meg.
Right.
And it was
Were
like,
they in
wait,
like a high school or something like that? They were like in a school setting, weren't they?
yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
It was
I need to
kinda like
watch that.
this,
I think I'd actually kind of want to watch that back.
it was like some like Greek Colosseum type school. And it's like, if you watch the movie and you love the movie, then you watch this and you're like, you just threw the whole movie out the window to make
Yeah.
a completely separate show. Like it's one of those things. If you watch the show and then saw the movie, you'd be like, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is completely out of the ordinary. But yes, this beautifully made movie. Um,
I'm interested to see how this would have done because so we had some split on the fans on Hercules, and I think that's why it came in so low with the fan vote coming in at 7 for the fans. We
yep.
had 4 people rank this as the worst, and then we had
Oh,
also 4 people rank it as the best. So that's where I think it comes in like with that weird middle spot. So
wow.
for the worst, Gabby A said Hercules is just so slow. Katie W said honestly I've only ever seen it once, and that was an adult, just never interested me. Judith M said liked it, but not as much as the other films. And Angela J said I watch and gravitate toward the least. As for people saying it's their favorites, we had Ashley S said number 1 and number 2 were both picked for soundtrack and great movie quotes that pop up in our family. Olivia F said the best music. Dennis B said Hercules was just everything I wanted in a movie when I was the age I saw it. And Courtney B said Hercules, I love mythology. The musics were iconic. Megan, just all of it. So very split on the fans here, and that's where it gets so low with the fan ranking. And
Yep.
that's why, I mean, a couple more people vote for it to be its favorite. Hercules might be up number 2 or something like that.
Yeah.
But very split on the fans, and I think that's just probably maybe I could be wrong, a generational thing, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, Hercules number 4, very deserved on this list. Number 4.
I do want to say, and I don't know if you know this, I feel like Hercules might have actually been one of the first Disney animated movies to play around with like computer generated or like CGI.
That I have no idea. The one I'm
Because
thinking of is Toy Story, but
well, this is that's why I'm wondering if this is like one of the first, because this is before Toy Story, but I don't know if you remember.
this is actually after.
This was after Toy Story.
Toy Story is 95. This was 97.
Ah, okay. Because, well, so Pixar was already doing it. I wonder if this is like Disney Animation was like, let's give it a try. When you watch Hercules, everything else is 2D, except for the scene where he's fighting the dragon who makes multiple heads.
Yeah.
Yet that has like this like CG, like a 3D-ish effect to it. But it's the only thing in the movie that has that effect.
Gotcha.
And
Yeah,
it's pretty cool. So that's why I was wondering, like, if this was them trying to go, you know what, let's see if we can generate kind of what Pixar is doing with the 3D type animation and see how it splits out, so we can show all the curvature and, you know, different angles of this monster that Hercules is fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, they moved on and they made more trash, like, you know, Meet the Robinsons and Bolt and
oh, come on,
Chicken Little.
I actually really like all those movies personally, but that was probably because I was a kid when they came out. But yeah, so Hercules number 4. Let's get to the top 3, shall we?
Yep.
Number 3 on our list of the ranking of Disney Renaissance movie comes in with Beauty and the Beast. I had this at 4. You had this at 3. The fans had it at number 2. Yeah, Beauty and the Beast, fantastic film. And Belle, also again one of my favorite Disney princesses. I think between Mulan, Belle, and Ariel, those are probably 3 of my top 5 Disney princesses right there, and they all come from the Renaissance era, excuse me. But I absolutely love Beauty and the Beast. This was the movie that got the most first place votes with 7. I don't think it had any last place votes, but let me double check that. Yeah, no last place votes. So the lowest it was ranked was 8th. But we had 7 people rank this as number 1, 5 people at number 2, and 4 people at number 3. But it got 4 votes for 8th place. So that definitely dragged it down compared to our top 2 movies in a little bit here. But like I said, no one ranked it number 10, and we had 7 people rank it number 1. So but before you give your thoughts, let me just go through this. So Gabby A said Beauty and the Beast is just the best ever. All the songs are catchy and it's so magical. Kaylana S said, I love the characters and always found it relatable for a kid who loves to read. Probably why I personally like Belle a lot as a character, because I love to read. Stephanie B said, Tale as Old as Time. Kevin C, honestly, when I think of Disney in my childhood, Beauty and the Beast is the top for me. It was a movie me and my siblings all loved. And then we have Chris O said Belle's my favorite princess, the songs and all the characters. Chelsea K said Beauty and the Beast was my favorite movie as a child. I love the characters and I love Princess Belle. She's my favorite. Lisa R, shout out my wife. This is one of my sister's favorite movies, and therefore I watched it way too many times growing up. I like the woman role model that was smart and not just pretty, which totally agree. And I think that's also a reason why Belle's one of my favorite princesses, because she was so independent, and I love that she read books. But yeah, that's what we have there. So number 3, your thoughts on Beauty and the Beast, Stevie, before we move on to 2 and 1.
Again, another masterpiece.
I want the Beauty and the Beast ride at Disney World so bad. The one from Tokyo, because that just looks. Beauty and the Beast needs better representation at Disney World. Sorry, I know I'm interrupting you.
No.
The show at Hollywood Studios is trash, and the little show they do at Magic Kingdom is fine. The restaurant is okay. I need a good Beauty and the Beast ride, please, Disney World, please.
I love this movie. This was like, my dad has videos of me as a kid singing along with Angela Lansbury, the Beauty and the Beast song. I absolutely love this movie. As this is going way back to like probably like our 3rd episode. Lumiere is my guy.
Yeah, you love Lumiere.
I love Lumiere. Yeah, this is, all the characters in this were very, very well done. I loved the character growth of the Beast. Do we ever learn what the Beast's like real name is, or we're just Beast?
Oh no, Prince Adam. Yeah, you do. Prince Adam.
Prince Adam. Okay.
I almost had a little. I almost said Philip. That would have been dumb. Yeah, Prince Adam.
Okay. But yeah, absolutely love this movie.
Shout out Maurice, one of my favorite Disney dads.
Yeah, Maurice. Another one that we're gonna put in the Stockholm Syndrome category.
But still love this movie. No, I mean, again, we talk about when you think of Disney songs and you're just rapid firing them, you're putting Beauty and the Beast, obviously the main song, Tales All the Time. You're putting
Be Our Guest,
obviously, like just straight up bangers in this movie. And when you think of Disney, if you don't think of Belle and Beast and their story, like I don't know what you're thinking personally.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, this the whole story from beginning to end, so good. Gaston as a villain is
great villain song.
Yeah, really good. Loved his, and I will say this is why, like I said, like eventually we need to do one of these kind of rankings, but with live action movies. We need to sit down and really watch some of the live actions that we miss. This is a live action that was amazing.
People hated this. I loved this live action.
This was really good.
Can Emma Watson sing? No. But do I still love her as Belle? You bet I do. I absolutely do.
Yeah, I think she played Belle very well. I forget the actor that that played the Beast, but I thought that adaptation was amazing. Everything that they did, all the little things, especially the guy who played Gaston
was very good. And then LeFou, played by Josh Gad, also really good too.
Josh Gad is just hilarious, and everything that he is in. It's always funny. So like Katie and I, when we watch like different shows and stuff like that, or different movies, we always try to be like, oh, like this is the guy from that. And, or like, especially like we'll watch like different shows and stuff like that. And Josh Gad, I think I remember saying one time, because I don't think she was like fully aware. We were watching Modern Family, and there was an episode where Josh Gad comes on. And I was like, oh, that's Josh Gad. And she was like, who is that? I was like, he's the voice of Olaf. And she was like, really? Are you sure? I'm like, I know these things. Trust me. I know these things. But yeah, Josh Gad was great in that movie. Yeah, some people give
Clip this for social media. Josh Gad, I love you. Please come on the podcast. I loved you ever since I watched 1900 Penn or whatever that show was that got canceled, which was the worst cancellation of all time because there should have been season 2 when the president's daughter had a baby and it was clearly the AIDS baby. Aid, AIDE, not the other aid. Wow, that was bad. Maybe don't clip that part for social media. But Josh Gad, you're my white whale to come on this Disney podcast. You're a dad. I know you like Disney World. Please, God, Josh Gad, please come on the podcast. My boy, my Olaf, please.
Come on, Josh.
People don't.
We need
that
you.
1900 Penn reference. If people know what the ending of season 1 is before that show gets canceled, hit me up. I need to talk about that. I'm still angry that show got canceled to this day. We'll talk about this. Is not time for that, but man, that show needs to be revived because I need to know what happened. All right.
Yep. If we ever get Josh Gad, maybe he still has the scripts.
Yeah, I don't
what happened.
Olaf. I want to talk about him being the president's like messed up son and be like, hey, your nephew in the show was clearly not your sister's wife, boyfriend, fiance, whatever. Clearly your dad's aide in the president's office. What the hell happened there?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a little rant. I know.
Nope.
Let's keep going with this.
Yeah. So let's go on to the next one. No, let's go. Let's go ahead to the next one.
Number 2, and obviously everybody will know what number 1 is because of this, is Aladdin. This was ranked 2 for me, 2 for Stevie, number 3 for the fans. That leaves Lion King as number 1, which got 1s across the boards. But we'll talk about Aladdin first. Again, more banger of a soundtrack, a whole new world, an automatic song you think of when you think of Disney. Genie, one of the best characters, not a sidekick, one of the best characters of all time, voiced by the late great Robin Williams. Freaking love Aladdin. The live action is still pretty good too. Surprisingly, so this was really cool because this made it to number 2 on the list with just 1 first place vote. Only 1 person had this at number 1, but it was doing so strongly in all the other categories that I was able to edge out a movie like Beauty and the Beast, which had 7 first place votes right then and there, kind of thing. Granted, Beauty and the Beast did finish second with the fans, but just not enough to overcome Aladdin with it finishing second overall because so many people had it in their top 3, 4, 5 kind of thing. And obviously me and you had it at number 2, which obviously gave that little extra bump over Beauty and the Beast because the fans did technically have this as third. But I don't think a single person, nobody put this as their least favorite. Before I get to your point, Stevie, somebody did put it as their number 1, which was Kathy L. So Aladdin has great music, a lovable hero, and Robin Williams. I never get tired of it. But Stevie, your thoughts on Aladdin?
Absolutely love this movie. I love this one. I love the live action. Another movie where, again, huge difference maker. They decided to give us a Disney princess with some color. I love Jafar as a villain.
Great villain. Another great villain.
Great villain. Gilbert Gottfried is hilarious.
So good as Iago.
Such a distinct voice, but as Iago, he was hilarious.
Probably should have gotten an honorable mention in the sidekick episode. Was Iago. True. I think actually he might have got one from you.
No, it wasn't from me.
Maybe it was from me. Whatever. He should have got one if he didn't.
Yeah. Favorite song. Normal, like from the live action, my favorite song is "Friend Like Me." From the original movie, absolute favorite song is Prince Ali.
Yeah, banger.
When he comes in and you have Robin Williams kind of like rapping and singing as he's walking through town, I was like, this is so dope.
He's like morphing people to try to like be like.
He's trying to pump everybody up, and then it's like that once like moment where everything kind of like dies down a little bit, and they like kick in the doors of the castle, and there's like Prince, and like they're doing like this like whole like step routine. I was like, this is so dope. But Aladdin is one of my all-time favorites. The rags to riches type story.
Favorite Prince by far for me.
Yeah,
and it's not even close.
I could see that. I could definitely see that.
Maybe Eric from Little Mermaids 2, but it's not even close on favorite Prince. It's Aladdin by a country mile.
Yeah, I could definitely agree with that. Aladdin is way up there. This is another movie that did I know there was a show because I used to watch the TV show, but I can't remember if they made an Aladdin 2.
It was called King of Thieves. I don't remember watching it, but I remember owning a VHS of it, so I'm sure I watched it at some point in my life. But it was called Aladdin and the King of Thieves.
Yeah,
I
this
promise
might
there
have
was. I remember having the VHS. One of the hardest video games of all time was the Aladdin video game. If anybody ever played that,
I don't think
very
I ever
difficult.
played that one.
It was like a platformer game. My God, kicked my butt. No, fantastic. I don't know if it's called One Jump, the song where he goes one jump ahead of the bread, like that one.
Oh
But
yeah,
then
yeah, yeah.
that song's really good too, and then it ends with like the riff raff street rat, like the little sad little boy thing.
Yep, yep.
Abu, awesome little sidekick there. A true sidekick, not Genie. No, just a great movie top to bottom. But Stevie, nothing on this list would ever. It was never going to beat Lion King. It was my number
Nope.
one. It was your number one. It was the fans' number one. Um,
Reigns
is Lion
supreme.
King. Lion King will never get old for me. Is my favorite Disney movie of all time, specifically Disney movie, not Pixar, because Pixar, if we were counting that, Toy Story might come into the game here. But as far as Disney animated features, it's my favorite movie of all time. I would love something to overcome it, just because that means there's another Disney banger. But it's my favorite. I love Simba, Timon and Pumbaa, two of the greatest characters of all time.
Yep.
The storyline, Scar, another classic Disney villain. I think that's like a big part of these lists, right? Is the higher up these rankings are, it's because you have a good lead, you have good sidekicks, you have a
Yes.
great villain, right? Like look at my top three. You have Hades, Jafar, and you have Scar right there.
Yeah.
A monsters row of Disney villains. When you accumulate all of that, plus the music, plus the action, like it's the best Disney movie in my opinion. I wish we had more representation in Disney World besides just the Festival of the Lion King. I know Disneyland Paris is getting a whole freaking flume ride for it that I wish we could get. This did have a show back when I first went to Disney World in 2000. Excuse me, it did have a puppet show, and it was in the Magic Kingdom. It's where Mickey's Philhar Magic currently is. It was the only time I ever saw it was that trip in 2000. I don't remember seeing it, but there are pictures that like my mom took, and we have in a photo album, so I know I went to it. But Lion King just always holds a special place in my heart. I love that movie. I know it's like not like really cool to say like this is a boy movie versus this is the girl movie, but like I think as growing up with like old school gender roles, like if we were watching a Disney movie, my parents would pop up Little Mermaid for my sister, and they'd put Lion King for me because they consider that to be the boy movie. So I think I watched that so many times. Like I said, I'm not agreeing that it's a boy movie or anything like that. It's a movie for everyone. Same with Little Mermaid, but just old school way of thinking. I think that's how people thought back then, and I think that's why I watched it so many times, and it's just got ingrained into like my freaking love for Disney was that movie. Because again, my sister, they would put on Little Mermaid for her, or Beauty and the Beast. For me, they would put on Aladdin, they'd put on Hercules, and they'd put on Lion King if they were going to put on a Disney movie. Also Toy Story, obviously, but I'm talking strictly Disney animated movies. So again, I'm not subscribing to this being a boy movie or not, but it was clearly pushed in my direction as a kid, whether that was through my parents or just life in general kind of thing. And I'm not knocking that. I freaking love this movie. So it has always a special place in my heart. I have such a good relationship with my dad. So like this movie, like eventually in 50 years when my dad dies, this movie's going to hit hard. I already know this movie's going to hit hard when my dad goes one day because I love Mufasa and Simba's relationship, and just reminds me a lot of me and my dad. So I'm sure this will only grow more and more and holding a special place in my heart as we grow older.
What year did this movie come out?
94.
94? Okay. Yeah, this was a huge movie for me. Just the whole story. I was that kid, kind of like Simba, was all over the place. Always trying to get into things and stuff like that. And then, as we've said tons of times, I live Hakuna Matata. That's just who I am. I've always been this way. But yeah, watching this movie, I remember from a kid Timon and Pumbaa, I'm crying laughing watching them. But I will say, and maybe I just didn't fully understand it, but it wasn't until maybe watching this as like a teenager, the scene, the iconic Scar Mufasa death scene,
Mhm.
it just never, like, I just kind of glossed right over it. Like, it happened, I'd watch it and be like, okay. And it was kind of just one of those, I'm just waiting to get to Timon and Pumbaa. But it wasn't until like when I was a teenager, I was like, oh, this hurts.
Yeah, when Simba says
This
"Wake up, Dad," and you're like, "Oh boy!" You want to talk about seeing people die in a Disney movie? Boom, right there. You
Yeah,
literally saw
that's
Mufasa die.
yeah, you watched Mufasa go down, but again, even then, like I said, like I was saying with Clayton, you kind of really saw it. Whereas with this, it was like we're just gonna pan away,
But
and
here's
Simba
the thing,
kind of
though.
comes out from behind a rock, and oh, he's not moving.
But here's the thing, though. Is I think it hits harder because it's not just like in Frozen when the parents die. It's in the middle of a song, and yes, it's sad, but they just put like a veil over the picture, and that's how you know they die. This
Yeah,
deals with like Simba like literally shaking his dead dad's body, being like, "Wake up, Dad, wake up," and like all of a sudden his uncle being like, "This is all your fault," kind of thing. Like that's freaking
yeah,
messed up, dude. And I think you're right. I think
rough.
I kind of like didn't realize that as a kid because I was like, "Oh, that sucks." His dad dies. Where's the funny warthog and meerkat kind of thing? Like,
Yeah,
but no, it hits. It hits so hard when you were growing
yeah.
up, kind of
It
thing.
Yeah, as a teenager, like that scene just started hitting like harder and harder.
Yeah,
And even now, like I'll watch that scene, I'm just kind of like I'm tearing up
yeah.
watching this scene because
It,
it is a very tough scene to watch if you understand what's happening. And for some kids that obviously don't know what's going on here, it's just kind of like, oh, like okay, and now Simba's running away and you
yeah.
don't really know. um I want to say one underrated characters that nobody really talks about enough, the hyenas.
Oh, very good. Very, very good. Whoopi
Very
Goldberg is one of them.
good. Yeah, great characters, and not enough people talk about them. They're another part of like kind of like making the movie. Like they're little, I think what I love, because I remember I would always, when I was at my grandmother's, she would always watch like TV Land
Hmm.
and stuff like that. They had this like perfect um Three Stooges type of thing going on,
Hmm.
and it just made them so much funnier to me. So it was like, all right,
Yeah.
so we've got them, and then you have, Timon and Pumbaa, like these. You kind of got that comic relief from both the bad side and the good side, and I was
And
like, this is beautiful.
you got banger music from both sides too. Like Be Prepared, the best villain song, hands down, probably. Um, no, it's great. I have a love hate relationship with Zazu. I'm a very type A person, so I love Zazu for that, but I hate because I'll get made fun of and people like would call me like you're being like a Zazu like in middle school. And that just hurt. People have also equated me to being like a tight ass like C3PO basically and being a worrywart. So like C3PO and Zazu were like just me to a T kind of thing. So I have a love or hate relationship for that. This did not get the most first place votes, but yet it did finish first place for the listeners because it was so strong
Yep.
in the top four. So it got 5 first place votes, 5 second place votes, 5 third place votes, 6 fourth place votes, and 4 fifth place votes. And with that, that just carried it to the number one, hands down. So like I said, didn't have the most first place votes, but because it did so strong in the other categories, that's why it got lifted up here to number one.
Mhm.
So only one person put it as their worst favorite. And it's literally because the storyline of Scar, this was from Stephanie B, the storyline of Scar killing Mufasa, which I get, like that was now we just talked about that. That is enough for me personally. If I didn't care about the rest of the movie, that could be enough to break me. When my dad goes one day, this could become my least favorite movie because of that scene, because I just can't watch it yet in my life. So I respect that opinion.
Yep.
Going for the favorites here, we got 5 people also putting out their favorites, just like me and you. We had Melissa C, one of my top Disney movies in general. Tyler S saying it's a movie that hardly ever gets old, no matter how old I get. Curtis C saying it's an outstanding story and timeless music. Danica D said Lion King has always been my favorite. Probably gets more love because I also love Lion King 1.5 so much. Shout out Danica. Danica, you are a real one, Danica. Yes, you know that Lion King 1.5. Hell yes, Danica. I did not read this response before then. I'm gonna text Danica as soon as this is over and be like, hell yeah, let's go. And then Judith M said, love the music. Yes, Lion King 1.5. Everyone here, everyone, you're listening to this ears. This podcast is gonna end in like 2 minutes. Disney Plus, Lion King 1.5. Please trust me, it's amazing. But Stevie,
I'll have to watch it. Yeah,
that's
I'll have
our
to
list.
watch 1.5.
So going down for all the votes here. So my 1 through 10: Lion King, Aladdin, Hercules, Beauty and the Beast, Little Mermaid, Mulan, Tarzan, Hunchback of Notre Dame, Pocahontas, Rescuers Down Under. Stevie, yours was Lion King, Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, Hercules, Mulan, Little Mermaid, Tarzan, Pocahontas, Hunchback of Notre Dame, Rescuers Down Under. The fans: Lion King, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, Little Mermaid, Tarzan, Mulan, Hercules, Pocahontas, Hunchback of Notre Dame, and again, Rescuers Down Under. Overall, the final Dadventures Around the Kingdom rankings using your votes as the fans, my votes, and Stevie's votes. We have number 1 with a full clean sweep of number 1 spots. Lion King with 30 points. Aladdin with 26 points. Beauty and the Beast with 24 points. Hercules with 19 points. Little Mermaid with 18 points. Mulan with 16 points. Tarzan with 14 points. Pocahontas with 8. Hunchback of Notre Dame with 7. And finally, last but not least, Down Under in the bottom of this ranking, the Rescuers Down Under. I've been waiting to save that line since we got to this up here. But Stevie, that's our list. Thank you, everyone who helped participate in this Rescuers Down Under. Not Rescuers Down Under. Jesus, the Disney Renaissance votes. We're gonna have to do this again with the Disney eras. I don't know the other eras names, but we're gonna find the names from. We're gonna do this again when we come to season 2. Stevie, a little programming note. So you guys are all listening to this the Friday before Thanksgiving. We are not recording next week, so we'll have the break off for Thanksgiving. I know we've had a couple breaks, and I thank everybody for being patient with that. It's just been a lot with me moving. So that also, besides Thanksgiving, it's giving me a little bit more time to go back and forth between my new house to finish unloading stuff. So thank you for everybody being patient. That this is the penultimate episode of what we're calling season 1 of Dadventures Around the Kingdom. We are going to do one more episode coming back the week after Thanksgiving, and then we're going to take the month of December off. 1, so I can move in the house. 2, so we can enjoy the Christmas time with our family and loved ones. And 3, so we can retool, come up with some new categories, some new topics. So that way, it'd probably be the first Friday in January, you all will get a brand new episode kicking off season 2 of Dadventures Around the Kingdom. So we're going away for a little bit, but not for too long. Again, this is thanks Stevie for coming up with this idea. I just need more time to pack up, literally. My back. This is my Jordan flu game right now. My back is killing me. I'm sitting on the floor. My laptop's on an old dining chair that we're trying to sell on Facebook Marketplace. My knee. This has been a mess. So thank you, everybody. The last episode of the season, I should be in the new house. Should be in the new Dadventures Around the Kingdom studio, a la Cameron Ramos's house. So thanks for everybody for their patience on that, and for the inconsistent schedule we've had for a little bit. Again, it's not on Stevie, completely on me. So Stevie, I appreciate you being so flexible with that stuff too. But
no problem,
Stevie, we did it. This was a hell of an episode. I had fun. Yeah. Let us know what you all think when you hear these rankings. But Stevie, anything else? I got one more thing, but you go first.
I want to say, other than some of these people that put Mount Rushmore Disney movies at the bottom of their list, they need a stern talking to. I need to meet these people face to face and wonder what happened.
Listen, they gave us the answers, and some of them are valid. Like the Mufasa, I disagree with it, but I get that. I get that point. The one I want to talk to, I need to call Colin, because Rescuers Down Under being number 3 is I love Colin. I value all opinions on this podcast. That is, when I saw that, I was like, which person put this at 3? And when I saw it was one of my best friends in the whole world, Colin Jepson, I was like, he's either being an a-hole trolling me, or he's dead serious. And I was like, I think he's dead serious, because he loves this kind of stuff. He loves being weird and random like that. So when I saw that, I was like, that just fits that it's Colin. I'm going to have a talking with him. Just be like, I just want to pick his brain. I'm not mad. Just be like,
did you read the rules correctly?
Yeah, but he did. He gave me. He definitely loves that as top 3. But one last little plug. As you all know, I'm a Disney travel agent, or I'm a travel agent. Work with Disney trips. That's my bread and butter, is booking Disney trips, Universal trips. Who needs a new T-shirt? Who needs a new tie or slippers, whatever, for Christmas? Get your loved ones a 7-day trip to Disney, or however many day trip to Disney. Have me help you book it. Not only are you going to have me help you book your trip, I'm going to help with the dining reservations, and you're going to get the expertise of somebody who lives and breathes Disney World and all this other stuff. who's been there 30 plus times in his lifetime, way too many times for an adult male to be in Disney World if you're a weirdo. But guess what? I'm not a weirdo. This is great. Disney adults are a real thing, and you should be a Disney adult, and you probably are because you're listening to this podcast. So if you want to book a trip to Disney World, Disneyland, Universal Studios, Florida, or Universal Orlando, Florida, I should say, hit me up. DM the Dadventures Around the Kingdom Instagram. I'll get back to you. Hit me up via my email, Cameron@rememberingvacations.com. I've had an influx of people looking to surprise loved ones with trips to Disney. So I've been doing a bunch of quotes lately. I'm doing my best I can to get through quotes, especially with the move. So give me a little bit of patience there. But if you're interested in surprising a loved one with a Disney trip for next year, hit me up. Would love to help you book it. Like I said, the expertise I have from Disney, not to brag, pretty freaking good. I have a good track record there. I know that place like the back of my hand, and I would love to help book your first Disney trip. Or one of you not first. Maybe you've been there plenty of times, but still want that ease of having a travel agent help book your trip. I would love the opportunity to do that. So thank you to everybody who's listening that can do that. Again, little plug for the side hustle here.
Perfect. And well, with that, I think we've come to an end. So as always, thank you all for listening. Thank you all for participating and voting. We will definitely keep doing more of these. But as always, have a great day, have a great weekend, and keep it magical.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. See ya. Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Dadventures Around the Kingdom. You can listen to the pod on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. You can also find us on our Instagram @Dadventures Around the Kingdom. If you have any ideas for future episode topics you'd like to hear, be sure to DM us on Instagram or email us at datkpod@gmail.com. Again, that's datkpod@gmail.com. If you want to follow our host Stevie on Instagram, you can do that @StevieJanko. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, you can also do that by following @MagicalVacaysByCam. That's my travel agency page if you're interested in booking Walt Disney World or Disneyland vacation at no additional cost to you. Feel free to DM me on there so we can definitely talk and I can get you a free, no obligation quote. Again, thanks for listening to Dadventures Around the Kingdom. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.